Well, hello, everybody. We are on, and we are excited. It is another week. Love Shreveport Lagniappe. I'm your host, Corey Williams, and many of you have been y'all jumping in real quick today. Alvin Scott, good morning to you. We appreciate you. Bill Cartwright, thank you for joining us. Selena Strickland, good afternoon to you. We appreciate all of you for joining us and popping on. Listen, as you all know, this is what we do every Wednesday. So we appreciate you jumping in live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Of course, little housekeeping rules. Here it is. When you jump on, you're on Facebook right now, I need you to click share. That's it. Real simple. Click share. Hey, Miss Carmen Carter. When you come on, click share if you're on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, copy the link and be sure to share it with someone. All right? Would y'all do that? Would you do that for me? And while you're doing that, of course, every week we want to just make sure that you are staying connected with us on our different platforms. There they are on our screen there. We've been going through them, and we just want to make sure that you all are staying connected with us. It's important to stay social, stay connected with us, because we share important information daily. Hats off to the digital media team, Miss Dominique Washington, Miss Veronica Brown, Mr. Corey Williams, sharing daily so that you don't miss anything as relates to the city of Shreveport. All right. So we definitely want you to stay connected with us, stay social with us. And it is very vital and very important because there are a lot of important information that we get out to the community, such as the Shreveport Financial Empowerment Center. If you did not know, we've just been resharing this to let people know, because many may not know or have forgotten that there is a empowerment center, financial empowerment center, that has free one-on-one financial counseling. There's the address on the screen there. There's the phone numbers on the screen. You name it, it's there. The hours of operation, there it is, all on the screen. So if you need these services, we don't want you to miss out on these services. We want you to make sure that you go and you obtain this information that is needed. All right. Of course, we're super excited because, we host the I Love Shreveport podcast. Of course, we have been sharing. You can go back and rewatch some of the podcast interviews that we have already interviewed. And great big shout out. Hello, Miss Dominique Washington. Digital Media is on with us. And of course, there it is at the bottom of this screen. You want to subscribe to these different platforms, or if you have one in particular that you love the best, you can subscribe to it and you can listen to our podcast. Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeart, Apple Podcasts, and then, as you know, YouTube, you can always go back and rewatch. And if you have Comcast Cable, Love Shreveport TV Channel 6, you can go back and rewatch. Speaking of our podcast, this evening, you'll be seeing the podcast. We are interviewing Mr. Keith Carter. You didn't know Shreveport has an arena football team called Shreveport Rougarou, and we sat down with one of the owners, Mr. Keith Carter. He's going to give you some in-depth information about the team, the season, what's going on, the excitement that's in the air concerning Team Rougarou, Shreveport Rougarou. And so you can go tonight. You can watch it live on Facebook, live on YouTube at 7 p.m. And you'll be hearing, again, the exciting sit-down interview with one of the owners of our Shreveport's arena football team, Shreveport Rougarou, Mr. Keith Carter. That's going to be really exciting, especially for all the football fans that are upset even now that there is no football, no high school, no college, no NFL. But here in Shreveport, there is arena football that is going strong. So you definitely do not want to miss it. If you're a football fan or not a football fan, this is just another this is going to be additional outings for the family that you can go, as sporting outing that you can go and enjoy. But he'll tell you more about it during the interview tonight, again, as we sat down with Mr. Keith Carter, who is one of the owners of Shreveport Rougarou Arena football team. All right. So this week is the last week of Black History Month. We're going to dive into that a little bit. But before we get there, of course, the Crew of Gemini Parade is happening March the 1st. You definitely don't want to miss 3:30 p.m. We're just giving you that information here. And then, of course, Highland, Crew of Highland is March the 2nd at 2 p.m. And we don't want you to miss out. We wanted to just let you know. And then you can go to our social media pages and get additional information as it relates to these parades that are happening. And you can go and enjoy it. Take the family, go enjoy these amazing parades. Time is absolutely moving. And so we don't want you to miss out on getting your kids signed up for the SPARS free spring break camp, which will be March the 10th through the 14th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Registration has already begun, but you can call a SPAR Community Center nearest you to get additional information to see if you can sign your kids up. They don't have to stay at home. It is a free camp for spring break. So take advantage of it and get your kids there. It's ages 5 to 12 and teenagers. So please, please don't miss out. Don't miss out. Your kids don't have to miss out on the spring break camp. And again, it is free. It's free, y'all. So again, if you want your kids to be a part of something during spring break, get them signed up for the spring break camp. All right. We mentioned that we are closing out Black History Month. But before that, I want to remind you that there are some job listings available. There are some job listings available at www.shreveportla.gov. All right, shreveportla.gov. Next week, we'll be getting right back into going in depth as relates to the names and the departments that they fall up under. But I want you to just go to this website. Here it is. It's our website. If you've not been to the website, you're missing out on a treat. It's got some amazing things, compartments to it, and it is indeed very, very much so informative as relates to some important detailed information. So if you're looking for a job, better job, and know somebody who is, get them to this website, www.shreveportla.gov, and they can definitely get some detailed insight on job openings for the city of Shreveport. All right. So we're super excited during this Black History Month. We've just been highlighting some different African Americans that have made positive strides in the past and in our present. And of course, we want to just honor again Ms. Tabitha Taylor, Ursula Bowman, who are Shreveport's first. This is the first time in Shreveport history that the city council and legislative branch of city government will be simultaneously led or is simultaneously led by women. Council chairwoman Tabitha Taylor and council vice chairwoman Ursula Bowman. So hats off to them. Congratulations to them again. And then, of course, we want you to mark your calendars. All right. It is the HBCU College Fair. It's happening February the 27th, tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Harry Blake Family Life Center, which is located at 1664 Austin Street, right here in Shreveport. So do not miss out on this. It's a college fair. If you want your young people to learn more about HBCUs, get them to this college fair. Again, it's February the 27th at the Harry Blake Family Life Center, and that's tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. All right, so we've been honoring different people every week. Of course, we've had some guests on to talk about their role, their what they have contributed as relates to Black history in our city. Today, we just want to honor Mr. Chris Hayes. Mr. Chris Hayes, who is the chef and owner of the Smoking Oyster Mobile Catering. Chris Hayes is a Food Network star, culinary consultant and entrepreneur with a heart for the community. A Louisiana native, Chris was born in Shreveport and fell in love with cooking by watching his elders joyfully prepare food for family gatherings growing up. Chris, he began his career in the culinary industry at the age of 15, working as a dishwasher at a local pizza restaurant. An avid learner, Chris eventually landed a position on the wait staff. It was during this time that Chris learned the essential aspects of food preparation and restaurant operations. After graduating from high school, Chris attended Grambling State University at HBCU and earned a degree in business. Following graduation, he enrolled in the culinary arts program at Louisiana Technical Community College, where he studied diligently for 2 years and earned his culinary arts degree. In the years that followed, Chris's education experience and passion for food earned him the reputation as one of the region's most creative and innovative culinary artists. He went on to work in a host of Northwest Louisiana's top hotels, restaurants, and gaming venues. His zest for life and extraordinary skill afforded him the opportunity to earn an executive chef position in New Orleans, Louisiana, known the world over for its rich culture, music, and cuisine. New Orleans proved to be an essential ingredient in the next phase of Chris's career. All right. In 2013, Chris took first place in the Oyster Jubilee. Following that win, he set his sights on earning a spot on the Food Network. He applied repeatedly over the next 3 years, but to no avail until finally in January of 2017, he got the call. The hit Food Network television show Cooks versus Cons extended him an offer to appear on the show, and Chris accepted the invitation and ultimately won the competition. Now a household name, Chris has been featured on talk radio, numerous local television programs, and in Louisiana Cooking and Road Tours magazine. Over the years, Chris has used his success as a platform to encourage at-risk youth and inspiring culinary artists both in his hometown of Shreveport and the city of New Orleans by donating his time and resources to community-based programs and cultural events. In fall of 2017, Chris launched the Smoking Oyster Catering, and his new cookbook, Welcome to Good Food, was slated for release in 2018. He is available for speaking engagement, culinary coaching sessions, and catering opportunities. And so today, ladies and gentlemen, we want to honor Mr. Chris Hayes, again, who is the chef and owner of the Smoking Oyster Mobile Catering. Wow. Hats off again to Mr. Chris Hayes and all that he is doing in his community. All right, y'all, listen up. Of course, we've got a message as we're honoring Black History. Our mayor has two persons that he is honoring. We'll let you watch the video. And then, of course, Mr. Tom Dart is going to come and share. Watch these amazing videos. This is history that you want to know about as relates to African-American history right here in our city. Don't touch, don't change, don't get off Facebook. Do not get off of YouTube. Keep it locked right here and listen to our mayor and Mr. Tom Dart.
Hello, I'm Tom Arsenault, Mayor of Shreveport. For African American History Month, I like to focus on African American inspirations. This week's inspiration is Mary Fields. Mary Fields, also known as Stagecoach Mary, was the first African American woman mail carrier in the United States and just the second American woman to work for the United States Postal Service. Even though she was about 60 years old when she applied, the post office hired her because she was the fastest applicant to hitch a team of 6 horses. She never missed a day, and her reliability earned her the nickname Stagecoach. She was born a slave in 1832 and died a legend in her own time in 1914. I am grateful to the African American History Network for introducing me to African American heroes I did not know about.
What an honor it is to learn more about Miss Mary Fields. Thank you, Mayor Tom Arsenault. We've got one more honoree from our Mayor Tom Arsenault, and then we'll go right in as we hear an honor from Mr. Tom Dart as it relates to African American History Month.
I'm Tom Arsenault, Mayor of Shreveport. For African American History Month, I like to focus on African American inspirations on Fridays. The inspiration today is Bryan Stevenson. Bryan Stevenson is now a well-known name, but he started as a lawyer bent on justice for wrongfully convicted clients. Fresh out of Harvard Law School, Stevenson opened a law office in Montgomery, Alabama to represent persons on death row. That became the Equal Justice Initiative. Stevenson's most celebrated case is that of Walter McMillian, a black man wrongly accused and convicted of the murder of a young white woman. Even though the jury recommended a life sentence, the presiding judge in Monroeville, Alabama, overrode the jury recommendation and sentenced McMillian to death. Only 2 states permit such a judicial override, and surprisingly, the United States Supreme Court has upheld the practice. In 1993, because of Stevenson's efforts and that of the Equal Justice Initiative, the Alabama Court of Criminal Appeals reversed McMillian's conviction. He had spent over 6 years on death row. Stevenson relates the story and others in his best-selling book, Just Mercy. The book is a sobering read. For his courage and persistence, Bryan Stevenson is the Friday inspiration.
Again, we appreciate our mayor. Every Friday this month, he has been sharing as relates to Black History Month, and we wanted to share them with you on Wednesdays, what he's been sharing on Fridays. And of course, they're on our YouTube channel, and they've been a part of our social media each and every week as well. So again, thank you, Mayor Tom Arsenault, for sharing those each and every week during African American History Month. One more, this is some history that we want you to hear about, and here you'll be hearing Mr. Tom Dart talking about one of his honorees as relates to Black history.
Hi, I'm Tom Dart. I'm the Chief Administrative Officer for the City of Shreveport. In celebration of Black History Month this year, I want to pay tribute to someone who inspired me and many of my friends to view black people in an entirely different light than was common during our childhoods. In the mid-1960s, Caddo Parish schools were strictly segregated. In 1967, my junior year at Woodlawn High School, 6 black students became the first students of color to attend Woodlawn under what was then called a Freedom of Choice plan. Those 6 students included a young man named Melvin Russell. Melvin Russell was not welcomed by many of his white classmates at first. He later told me that the first time he walked across the quadrangle at Woodlawn, it sounded like everyone was saying, "Black sheep, go home." It must have taken amazing strength and character just to come to school every day. But Melvin had a skill that quickly endeared him to many of us. He was a magician with a basketball in his hands. So much so that in our senior year, he led our team to the state basketball championship and made the all-state team. As we saw him on the court, many of us began to truly see him not just as an athlete, but as a friend. For a lot of us, including me, Melvin Russell was the first black man we'd ever considered as an equal. It wasn't easy for Melvin. In many ways, he and a handful of students at other Shreveport high schools were like Jackie Robinson had been years before in pro baseball. They were the first black players ever to play in many of the local gyms. They were singled out by referees who tried to foul them out of games. Things were said to them that had to hurt. But Melvin Russell stuck it out. After high school, he got a scholarship to play at Centenary and later came back to coach basketball at Woodlawn for many years. Sadly, he died last year, but many of us who knew him and became his friends will never forget him. From all of us, thank you, Melvin. You were an inspiration and a friend. By the way, he got a standing ovation at our graduation. A long way from being a black sheep.
Thank you, Mr. Tom Dart, for that amazing moment of history as it relates to Woodlawn High School and Black history. And listen, again, we have had an amazing month honoring each and every week, someone as relates to African American History Month. Today, we want you to have a great rest of your Wednesday. This weekend, there are 2 parades, as we mentioned earlier, that you can go and take the family and attend, and have a great Mardi Gras weekend, catching beads and different things, and just having a great time. All right. So again, thank you. That's all the time we've got for today. Thank you so much. And if by chance there was some technical difficulties on your end watching those videos, we do apologize for those technical difficulties. But again, thank you so much for taking out your time, tuning in to Love Shreveport Lagniappe. I'm your host, Corey Williams. We'll see you next week. Take care now. Bye-bye then.